Yes, welcome back everyone to another episode of Shades of Tone. Today I want to talk about my motto. It's something that's near and dear to me. I try to literally do this every day, and that's literally simply living in my truth. So for those of you that do not know what I mean by that and living in your truth, to me, the definition is to live in your reality, unfiltered, being authentically you, chasing your dreams, crushing your fears, regardless of who's watching or may have an opinion. And you conform to what you want out of life, not what others want for you. Now, with that being said, how many of us have went to school or did things because we were taught that's the right thing to do? How many of us are overachievers because we grew up thinking we weren't enough and this is how it's supposed to be, and watch your brothers and your sisters and you ain't going nowhere unless the house is clean, or if you were somewhere, you had to leave and come back because you ain't cleaned something right, and, stuff like that. I'll be the first to say that I am an overachiever. So people might look at it as being ambitious. And yes, I'm very ambitious. I work hard and all of that. But I was taught that. I was taught you were supposed to work hard. That's how it's supposed to be. So much so that I had to force myself to begin to smell my flowers now and sit my ass down sometimes, because that's self-care too. So, sometimes you just have to have that balance in knowing what your boundaries are. Simple as that. Living in your truth is saying no when you don't feel like it. If you know you got a million things to do today and someone needs you and you have the urge to help them, by all means, go ahead. But if you automatically are thinking like, damn, I ain't gonna have time to do this, let me see what I could do, let that person know. I'll see what I can do. Or simply, I wish that I could help you. Is there any other ways that I might be able to help you? But I'm not gonna physically be able to do this for you. And if they care for you and they're a true friend, family, whatever the case may be, they'll understand that. It's life. Living in your truth is keeping quiet when you shouldn't have to explain yourself. So with what I was just saying, if the answer is no, sometimes it's just no. Period. There's nothing else after that. You shouldn't have to always feel like you have to explain yourself or, have a description for why you said this or why you said that. It's no. Thank you, ma'am. That's it. All right? So it's speaking up as well when people tried it, okay? How many times people just consistently keep trying you, but once you let them try you that first time and they succeed, they just keep getting bolder and bolder, don't they? It's like, I said I'd do this, and now you're doing this. Now you ain't even asking no more. You just doing it. Nah, fam. That's not what we gonna do. That's what we not gonna do, okay? So literally just letting people know, like, nah. That's not acceptable. That's not how I'm going to be treated. And, that's going into creating boundaries with everyone and sticking to them, So if that means your parents, your siblings, your cousins, your aunties, uncles, grandparents, whoever, simply people should know what they can do and what they cannot. And sometimes when they don't know, it's as simple as putting them in their place or just expressing, no, I do not like this. I expect this. I will not tolerate this. And it's as simple as that. A lot of people, they like to gaslight and, oh, well, why you acting like that? Or you acting funny? Or you acting this way or that way? And I'll be the first to say, anybody that said I'm acting funny or brand new, you're right. I am. So I'm changing. I'm growing. I don't want to be the same person. And if a person is on their path and they're changing and growing, then they're acknowledging that they are growing from an old person. And as you grow, there are little bits and pieces of you that aren't going to come with you. And if people aren't growing with you, Not collectively per se or, together, but you're on your separate paths, but they're growing in their ways and you're growing in your ways, then they get that. If a person is still stuck in their ways, or if it's someone that you used to, just hang out with on the weekends and smoke and drink with, but, you had a career and they didn't, like, they don't care if you have to work. They don't care if you get in a car accident. They don't care about none of those things because all they're looking and waiting for is that turn up. So now when you switch it up and it's like, all right, I might go out and drink, one day on the weekend or whatever, but it's not a consistent thing. And, I'm not into picking everybody up anymore. I'm going to Uber there. I'll meet you there or whatever. Oh, you acting different. You acting funny. You're right. Are you going to meet me there or... Because at this point, I can't even say that I have friends like that. The friends that I kick it with, we have some drinks, we might play some games, but we talking about these businesses, how we could collaborate, how we could barter with each other, what the next move is to make sure these babies is good. And I firmly believe that if a person will not support you for free, when it's not taking, you're not asking them to buy anything. You just literally want their support and they can, they're capable of supporting you and they don't, but they still want to get quote unquote lit. That's a no for me. If we can't build together, I don't want to party with you. If we can't talk about real shit, I don't want to have fun with you. Like, for what? I literally only want to give my time to like-minded individuals. And by all means, a person acknowledging that they do want more or to be better or whatever, that's all that I need. Everybody is not going to be on your level. I do not judge everyone. But, you know what I'm talking about. You know the difference between someone that genuinely needs help and somebody that just is a get over, So, you have to discern with that. So, with that being said, it's also going with the flow if you always feel the need to control everything. I used to be a control freak. I didn't even know. I was a control freak subconsciously. I only dealt with guys that I knew would be available when I hit them up at any given time. They drop everything like L.I.Y.T, I'll meet you here. For what? For what? They got me nowhere. Just a bunch of situationships for what? Because these typical people that were always free weren't doing nothing. The ones that were the bosses, they was as busy as I am. So I can't just hit them up right now like, you want to chill in 2 hours? Like, nah, I'm in Philly somewhere, or I'm traveling back. Like, ain't you flying out tomorrow? Like, yeah, but I want to chill today. So you just have to remember that, like, you can't control everything. And a lot of times I've realized when I went with the flow, that's some of the best experiences I had. And I just think about them sometimes, like, what if I tried to control that? I wouldn't even have been able to experience what I experienced. And it brings a smile to my face because literally with letting go and letting things flow, a lot of times it started off with where I see fit. Now I just try to let things flow as much as possible. If it's nothing that has to be structured, then I typically just let things flow because I have to manage and co-manage and micromanage so many other things. It's like, I don't got time for that. I don't. So I just go with the flow a lot of the times just to save me brain space and just to be able to enjoy the moment, most importantly. Now, this is a big one. Living in your truth could also mean going to a therapist or seeing a therapist when needed. People think like, oh, a person's depressed, let me go to the therapist, or things ain't working for me, let me go to the therapist. It's not always just for negative or bad things or bad times and all of that. I speak to minds when life is sunshine and beaches too, okay? If I'm doing great, I can't wait to speak with him. Like, I call my therapist Unc. Like, Unc, guess what? Like, I got a promotion. I did this. I did that. He's like, I'm so happy for you. Like, all right, now tell me everything because I don't have to tell you nothing. You called me to talk to me. Like, this is just a conversation, But sometimes you need an unbiased person. They don't know your friends. They don't know your family. They don't got nothing against you, nothing to have against you. Yes, they're getting paid for it, but they are there to truly listen. And a lot of people think therapists are there to tell you what to do. They are not. They're literally just ears. A lot of times with therapy, you come up with your own conclusions because as you're talking to this person, you're getting to know this person. So every time y'all speak, y'all talking about something different. As you're talking to them with every session, things start to click for you. And it's like, oh, snap. You know what? I was this way because of this or that. All right. I know that now. Let me fix that. It truly is. When I noticed that, it completely blew my mind away. Like, I'm not coming there for them to sit down and, oh, is that right? Writing in their notepad and stuff like that. Like, they literally just listening to me and like, all right, well, what do you think you should do? You know, so it's basically like a voice outside of my head just confirming or reaffirming the things that I already knew it was. You know, and with saying that, living in your truth is also following your instincts, intuition, gut feelings, whatever you want to call it. Is following that. It's doing what you feel is right. Okay, so if that means you were about to go somewhere but you got a bad feeling, I ain't going. I'd rather be safe and sorry at any point. If I feel anything is off, I would consistently be safe than sorry. All right, and that's your gut. If you want to call it gut, intuition, instinct, all of that stuff is the same. It's something within going off. Red flag, something's off here. Now, you should also know when to step the hell up. Like, all right, come on now, back up. You doing too much. Or step the hell off. Like, you know what? You have the stage. It's not even worth it. And that's one of the most liberating things. Like, just, I don't got nothing to say. Go ahead, baby. You can talk and say all that you want to say. It does nothing to me. You know why? Because that's your life. This is mine. What you eat don't make me shit. So you can feel whatever way that you would like. I acknowledge that. Okay. What else? I'm done. You have a good day. Okay, God bless. You know? And it's basically like having flexibility, but still standing your ground. So yeah, I'm flexible and I'll go with the flow, but you are not about to do anything that I feel uncomfortable with or I feel as though it's less than the experience that I'm trying to have. And that could be as simple as respect, the way you talk to me. I tell people all the time, talk to me nice. Alright? Because I have a slick mouth. I'm very unfiltered. So, like, besides corporate world and all of that stuff, I say exactly what's on my damn mind. And a lot of people can't handle that. And I get that. And I try not to, bring it to that all the time. But I have no problem with doing it. So it's like, talk to me nice, I'll talk to you nice. I'm like a little kid. You can't start playing with me for 5 minutes and think I'm going to just sit down when you tired and huffing and puffing. Nah, you started it, baby, let's finish it, because I'm going to finish it. So with that being said, I just try to stay away from that. Like, I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that. So yes, I am flexible, but I'm going to stand my ground. You're going to know what I expect and how you're going to treat me, or you're simply not going to be around me. You won't get that luxury. You won't get the tone experience. It's that simple. Like, nobody got time for that, It's doing something new you never tried, like flying a plane or taking swimming lessons. Just literally opening up your mind to different stuff. Like, what is it that, you're thinking of in your head? What's the things that you thought about in your past as a kid? And it's like, I want to try this or I want to try that. It could be as minute or as gigantic as you want it to be. If these are things that you want to do, there's nothing that's too silly. Living in your truth is finding what it is that makes you happy. So if you always wanted to paint, I remember when Alicia Keys came out, I always wanted a keyboard, but when she came out, like, still to this day, I be playing the keyboard in the air, because I just love the way she plays. But, I should have got a keyboard back then. I might have had some things to add to my list of accolades if I did, so that means that I could go on, online, garage sales or whatever, get a used keyboard and play with it. I don't know what comes from that, but if it's something that I think would make a dope hobby and something that I want to try and I'm, within my means, I'm going to do that. You could create a vision board, simply write down your goals. There's no excuse, guys. You don't have to, I would say everybody should have a journal or a little notepad. It doesn't have to, have any direction as far as what you want to put in it, but you should have somewhere that you call yours that you could physically write out things that you're thinking that you want, all of that. To me, that is manifestation. That is affirmations. I am putting it down on paper, what I want. I talk about what I want as though I have it already, and it works for me. But if you don't always have access to, notepad, pen, all of that stuff consistently you can carry around with you, all of our phones have a notepad in there, and I use that too. I use that a lot. So if it's something that just comes to my head randomly, I'm putting it in my notepad. It's a Bible. I do actually have an actual journal for each business that I run. I have a separate journal for that. I'm just a journal person. I collect them, honestly, so I ain't gonna bore y'all with all of that. But I love to have the option of different books and stuff like that to choose to write in. I like pretty pens, all of that stuff. So to me, that's stuff that makes me happy. So if I have a nice book and a nice pen, I'm more likely to write in that. See? That's the gag. Sometimes you got to trick yourself into doing what you wanted to do. Your subconscious doesn't know that you're tricking yourself. But eventually, it will become second nature for your subconscious, if you get what I'm saying. Basically creating more experiences, living in your truth instead of just working to survive. We work, but you know how much money we all spend frivolously for the most part every day? We can save that money up and put it towards a goal that we have. Let's say buying a new keyboard, or a new entertainment system, or building that new shed in the backyard that you've been said you wanted to do as a do-it-yourself project. Like, it's basically taking all of the things that you procrastinated with or said that you would get around to and doing it. That's living in your truth now. We are young now. We're the healthiest we're probably going to be now. Jump out the window now. You don't want to be in your 80s like, and by all means, that's still living, that's still experiencing. By all means, I hope to get to that age and past it, but it's easier for me to maneuver on and off them planes right now. You know what I mean? So I'm on them planes right now. It's just me doing whatever is happy for me. Whatever it is that makes me smile. And sometimes that might be hanging around my friends, just laughing and joking. I like to think in the back of my head that I'm like an improv queen, so I'm always quick with it, just saying all kinds of quirky stuff. I take pride in being a weirdo or outcast or a unicorn or whatever you want to call it. I'm really embracing my eccentric side, and I'm just aligning myself with people that want the same things that I want out of life. And when you are dealing with people or surrounding yourself with people like that, you're consistently encouraged to just keep going. Like, I'm a firm believer, if you're around 4 bums, you're going to be the 5th. If you're around 4 millionaires, you're going to be the 5th. So I look up to the people that, are further along in their journey than me, and I humbly come to them. I ask them questions, all of that. And I genuinely, take their opinions and I see how I could apply it to my situations, because it's like, yeah, you're proof that it can happen. Like that's a living goal that I could see, if I just keep up and do what it is that makes my heart content and my heart happy, and when you're around people that you're aligned with, when you have accomplishments or you do things worth celebrating, they're going to want to celebrate with you. They're not going to think that you're bragging, or you think you're better than everybody because this, because that. No, you have your blinders on and you're doing what you have to do for you. It ain't about what Mark or Keisha or Ezell is doing down the street. You're not paying attention to that. You paying attention to you. And when people look everywhere else except for where they're supposed to be looking, it slows them down. When you have your blinders on, you can understand that people are around you, but you're not focused on what's going on around you. You focused on what's going on with you. And typically, if you stay focused on you and what you need to do, you're going to consistently elevate and move where you're supposed to be going. Yes, sometimes we have detours and all that stuff, but as long as you get back up and do what you got to do, you're fine, But I learned that with being around those people that inspire me, it literally just changed my life. I'm not as negative anymore. I save a little more. It's not only about, getting lit or, where the guys at. Like, I could sit with all my homegirls for the night and go home by myself. I also could have a nice dinner or night with someone and go home by myself. I also could have a nice dinner or something and take them home with me. I don't know. It depends on what the hell I want to do. But again, it's what I want to do. I don't do anything that I do not want to do. I make sure I keep myself out of situations that's going to force me to do something that I don't want to do. And it's that simple. It's easy to navigate when you know consciously what it is that you want to do, or what you expect, or what at the least what the end goal is. All right. It's that simple to me. So living in your truth, or like I like to say the acronym LIT, living your truth. Nobody can take that from you. You're the only one that's living this life. We only get one. All right. So make sure y'all are striving every day to make it the best one yet. Okay, Tonesters? All right. To respond to a question, make a suggestion for an episode, or give feedback, reach out to us at shadesoftonepodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us at Twitter, Shades of Tone, Instagram, Shades of Tone_podcast, Tone Motivates on TikTok, and of course, ToneMotivates.com. As always, always love. Motivation.